Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the Suit Up Geek Fix podcast. Today, we are breaking down a spoiler heavy review of episode 3 of Hawkeye. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like if you love the MCU. Again, spoilers. If you're watching us live, please be sure to comment. Let us know your thoughts on this episode, because boy, did this episode bring it up a notch. And to help me break it down, I've got my brother from another mother. He is Loretto. Follow him on Twitter at Marcellus Darden. What's going on, Lo?
Good afternoon from the West Coast. A brisk 70 degrees in California, which in December I don't like, but I got my coat on. Not as nice as Kate Bishop's, but I'm ready to talk shop, man.
Let's go. Well, before we get started, man, we didn't get you on during our intro review here of episodes 1 and 2. Like, what was your just general impressions of the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, man? Real quick.
As expected, it's interesting how the internet works, and especially I already know how you feel about the series so far, but I liked it more than most. I know not a lot happened, and to be fair, some of the Bishop development is a little on the cheesy side, but I think for me the tone is okay for me, because I'm not saying she only reaches out to a certain audience, but I think what they're going for here is someone for that next generation to look up to, the 8-year-olds, the 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds, and maybe some of the teen bracket, sure. But I kind of like that naive, foolish teenager thing going on. It's a little bit, it's not quite as fun as Tom Holland with Peter Parker, but I like Haley Steinfeld so far. I feel like she's definitely showing both sides. Like, she's not a complete, slapstick hero here, but I liked it so far, especially the first 2 episodes. I thought that, especially the LARPing, there's a lot of surprise elements in both episodes that I liked. For example, the actor that played Armand, forgive me, I can't remember his name right now, but fantastic. Have you guys ever seen when Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls? He was the rich bad guy in that movie, and yes, yeah, it's hitting you now, isn't it?
I totally missed that.
Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. He's great. He's also in Phantom of the Opera. Anyways, I liked seeing him. I liked the auction thing. This is the suit worn by Ronan. I don't know. I found the mystery of it intriguing. I liked the spy elements to this. But again, I get it. There wasn't a lot of action. Yeah. We didn't get a lot of Hawkeye. We didn't get a lot of anything in the first 2 episodes. I'll admit that. But personally, I enjoyed the ride for what it was. Is it better than WandaVision and Loki? No, not at all. But I liked it more than most, so to say, to wrap that all up. But shouts out to Grills. I thought that was really cool. And it also threw me back to Role Models with Paul Rudd. I don't know if you remember that movie with Sean William Scott.
Of course, we fight with you.
Yeah. Let us gently touch tips.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
I love that movie. So the LARPing thing was a big +5 points. It didn't matter how bad the episode was. That made it worth it for me. So, and I also liked Hawkeye leveling with that guy, giving him his time to shine. So
let us gingerly touch our tips.
Yes. But yeah, overall, I liked it more than most.
All right, good man. Good stuff. Let's break down episode 3, general impressions. I really enjoyed it. Way better than the first 2 for me. I thought I had a lot of action. The trick arrows, Echo's backstory, it was incredibly tragic. It instantly got my attention this week. You had the amazing flashbacks for Echo, which I think were significantly stronger than present Echo. That's for sure. We're going to get into that very, very soon. But I thought this episode had a really good balance between the heart and the action and those quieter moments. That car chase was probably one of the best action sequences in any Disney Plus MCU series shows so far. I think that epic flip where you have Clint, shoot the arrow and it saves Kate, and in that toy house fight, that was awesome. I also had some really good character moments, which I thought were really improved this week. That phone call scene between Kate and Clint was legit adorable. That scene where Clint tells Kate to be careful and she responds, "I was born careful," and shoots an arrow out of the car. Really, really well done there. Unlike you, Loretto, I wasn't really high on the first 2 episodes. I thought they were a little mediocre. The tracksuit gang is so cringe. It nearly pulls me out of this show completely. And I get it's very comic book accurate, comic book faithful. But regardless, everything here this week was top to bottom, raised to another level in episode 3. And fingers crossed, and we're going to talk about it. That reveal moving forward, we're going to get a real presence, a real threat finally for Clint and Kate. And it's going to be epic, man. What was your general thoughts?
Man, you nailed it. I mean, God, I should have done my research for today. I can't recall her name, but the actress who played Echo was wonderful. And
yeah,
I really connected with that relationship with her father. And I just loved how he pushed her to be more than just, like he insisted that she's level with the real world people, whether she's signing or not, and just learning how to fight. And I thought that sequence was really, really cool. And I liked that she completely held her own against Clint. And not only that, I'd say she actually won that fight, because at that point, I mean, Clint's getting on the older side. He's been through a bunch of battles. He's worn down from previous wars. And she gave it to him pretty rough. He kind of pretty much fled the scene. So I thought that was really cool to put that feather in her cap. I agree. I love the Tracksuit Mafia, but I kind of also understand, like, it's almost cartoonish how stupid they are, which, I mean, it's good for laughs, but at the same time, like, when they had them captive, it felt like a little bit too much. Like, they're poking fun that, Hawkeye's on a unicorn. And
I'm out, man. I'm out. I hated that part so much.
And also, like, I loved how that one guy was like, hey, we're interrogating you, okay? You're supposed to be scared of us. Like, it's just, yeah, that part was starting to kind of get on my nerves a little bit. But with all that being said, you're right, man. The action was fantastic. I really liked the elements to it, like you said, that arrow shot that he did was just so flippin' cool. Like, just like freeze Kate, and then also the one with the Pym arrow, and it just stops the truck. And that was show stopping, man. That was like MCU cinema quality of action. I think that's what this series needed to depend upon. And I think for me, I knew that was coming, which is why I didn't mind the first 2 episodes so much. Like, I mean, I get it. People want to see things, they want to be excited, but I don't mind when shows take their time. And for me, Kate's development was key, because we don't know her. We don't know her backstory. So it's okay. We needed to see her apartment. We needed to see her dynamic with her mother, who's wonderful, by the way, Vera Farmiga. So and it was kind of cringy too, her stuff with the stepdad. But like, we need to see that. We need to develop those connections, because I'm sure he's probably hand in hand with our big reveal star in this episode. So I'm really curious to see how it unfolds. I think 456 is probably gonna finish pretty strongly for this series. So
Kyle says we better see Kingpin. I mean, a full reveal. We are going to talk about that. Kyle says the episode was too short. We're already halfway through. Through Hawkeye. Do you want to talk about Echo first, or do you want to just deep dive into Kingpin? You decide, man. What do you want to do?
Let's dive in, man. I mean,
go Kingpin.
There's not too much more to be said, but I think I like the way they developed her character for sure.
All right. Yeah, Echo. I think she's really interesting for me. I actually had no idea who Echo was during our episodes 1 and 2 review, but I really found that intro to be her origin story to be extremely interesting. I'm definitely curious if Clint did in fact kill her father, or maybe there's a little bit more to it that's happening off screen. I like the parallels that I'm seeing between Kate and Maya's backstory. They both have these dead fathers. They both have learned to be successful martial artists, and they likely both have someone that they trusted out to be not who they thought they were, whether that's Kate's mother, who I still think is going to be like the main villain here by the end of this series. And then you have Echo's uncle. Kingpin's involvement instantly makes that upcoming spinoff a must-watch for me. Like, I was thinking about this, like, why are we getting an Echo spinoff? Like, what are we doing here? But the fact that you have Kingpin potentially heavily involved in an Echo spinoff makes is not unlike what Monica Rambeau's Photon character in WandaVision made me suddenly care about the upcoming the Marvels and her role in the Marvels. So that's really kind of interesting. The fact that we have a backdoor device to get more screen time for Matt Murdock and the MCU's Daredevil into the MCU is really exciting, because we know They have a past 100%. I think it's pretty safe to assume that Echo's series will be about her growth away from Kingpin, her growth away from Fisk, and thus slowly, coming to realize like what she wants to be, whether that's a villain or a hero. So I think we're going to get some sort of redemption arc, not unlike Loki that we saw in that series. So that's what I expect for her character moving forward. I think we're kind of going to see her, not one of those black and white villains. She's going to have to make some really hard decisions these next 3 episodes. What about you? What do you think of Echo?
Oh, yeah. And just to touch on that a little bit, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say, but I do think that I like that she was sympathetic from the get.
Yeah.
Especially for her to not realize Clint is Ronin.
Yeah.
I like that she was like, oh, don't worry about the hearing aid. You're stronger without it. Like she was like leveling with him, like, oh, and then even with Kate, as much as she wanted to like kill her, I think there was a part of her that realized like, okay, maybe this is all wrong.
100%. You got muted, man. You're muted, man. You let me back?
Hello. Testing. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I like that they from the get, she's kind of already teetering that line of like a gray villain versus a black and white type of villain. So
yeah, and then we get to the big reveal of this episode that everyone is talking about, and that is Kingpin. For me, he's automatically one of the best villains in MCU, period. I wouldn't be shocked if like Kingpin somehow manipulating or was involved with Rona's killing Maya's father. That's definitely going to happen at some point over the next few episodes. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how like we get Marvel Studios Fisk versus that Marvel Television's Fisk and how they differentiate and how they're similar. That's definitely going to be something to watch. The concept that we're actually building towards a live action confrontation between Kingpin and Spider-Man, dude, just completely blows my mind. Here, I've always gushed about the thought of like Daredevil and Spider-Man just running across the rooftops in New York and hanging out together and fighting crime together. But the idea of Kingpin squeezing Spider-Man in a fight on the big screen might actually top that for me, bro. It might actually top it. As someone who grew up to watching Kingpin literally own everybody in the Spider-Man animated series show back in the 90s, like Kingpin wrecking the MCU is like legit 11 out of 10 nerdgasm for me. The fact that we're getting Kingpin in the MCU, his debut on the 5th episode, they just tweeted it out today. His intro will be the 5th episode, which will be December 15th. And then we're getting Matt Murdock's debut in the MCU on December 16th, man. Kevin Feige's crushing that, bro. Absolutely. Like, that is unbelievable, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And God, the excitement's going through the roof. I didn't know that. So holy shit, that was a bombshell he just dropped there.
Wild shit, man.
Oh, you nailed it, because in an animated series, he was so menacing, right? And I think Vincent D'Onofrio definitely captures that in the Daredevil series. And I think that his dynamic on this show and also with Peter is going to be electric. I think it's going to make for a lot of drama. And as far as like the way this is weaving, I don't really have a handle on where we're going with this, but I do want to say I like that the series is reflecting on Clint's role as Ronin.
Yeah.
Because we kind of it's very quick, like 2 seconds and you miss it. If you went to go Peter in this part, you don't even know what he did. But what he did was, in a way, sure, he's murdering bad guys. He's murdering criminals, right? But then there's that flip side, which I thought, as much as people don't like this movie, BVS did kind of explore the idea of like, when you're killing criminals, you also forget they're humans and maybe they have families, maybe they have children or wives at home. And I thought that was interesting to see the effects of that with Echo. So, there's a price to him just murdering all these guys. And some of these guys, maybe they're not so bad. They're just falling on hard times trying to make some cash with the mob or the gang or whatever they're doing. And it's interesting because you have to imagine how many people he killed as Ronin. I mean, it was 5 years from the snap. So for 5 years, he's just wrecking havoc. He lost his family. He's just killing people. And I think if we see more of that kind of like self-reflection in this series, I think we'll see some fantastic acting from Jeremy Renner, and it'll definitely hit some emotional notes, So
before we get to grades, did you have any problems with this episode?
well, minus the tracksuit mafia, just kind of almost like you said, it does take you out of it a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's a little cheesy. But for the most part, I thought everything with Echo is incredible, and I really liked that phone call at the end. It really brought things home, and it definitely gave the series some weight. Whether or not we think this is gonna have a happy ending or not, I think we would be remiss to not have this happy ending on Christmas. But it gives the story some weight, and it's needed, and especially dealing with the hearing loss, which is something that I think a lot of people can connect with. And after seeing Sound of Metal earlier this year, it's something that I can't even fathom how I would feel if I lost hearing, because I used to play a lot of music, and I've had a couple nights where there's ringing in my head. I've been to a lot of shows and stuff like that. So it's a terrifying concept, especially hearing the voice of your loved ones, right? So
I have a question for you. Did
sure.
you have any issues with the fact that Clint Barton, this like amazing super spy, and guys, if you're watching, comment if I'm wrong. Like he doesn't know how to read, someone's mouth. Like you would think that he would be able to understand. I think of like Ethan in Mission Impossible. Like he could read others' voices. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm shocked that he can't do that.
That's actually a really good point. I think that's an inconsistency with his, because supposedly he's got the eyes of a hawk, right? I mean, that's why they call him that, right? I see better from far away. Like you think he'd notice something like that, right? So I think that's inconsistencies with the character, in my opinion. But I'm not gonna fault the entire MCU just for that sole fact. So
I agree. I'm just nitpicking.
that's a good point, though.
I still think the story is a little bit boring, but I do think the show is finding its foundation for sure, especially if we get Fisk. Because you look at the tracksuit gang, they're as non-threatening as can be, and I get it. They're a joke in itself, but I need to see where the show is going. The story is just a little flat for me. I'd like to see
bro, they got guns, bro.
Nice. It can be a little bit improved. No, let's go to grades. How would you grade episode 3, man?
It's definitely the best of the 3, definitely. The action was top notch. I liked the backstory for Echo. It's hard to grade because as much as I liked the first 2 episodes, I didn't grade them terribly high. So I'll give it like let's say like a 7.8.
Okay. Oh, I actually was a little higher than you. I was going to go at 8.5. There's definitely, I was in that like 7, low 7s range, I think, for the first 2. Yeah. I think I'm going to give this an 8.5. I think it was a major improvement here in episode 3. I only wish that like this was our starting point and we had more episodes to go, because we're already halfway through, but I'm excited for this last stretch that could be really, really exciting. Predictions, man. Here we go. Here's my favorite part of the show. I think we're going to see Maya, she's going to clearly have to make a decision about leaving Fisk, and that's going to cause a shit ton of drama. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Ronin costume eventually gets in the hands of Val Contessa. I think that is an interesting little bet there. What about the potential, Loretto, that Yelena comes on and she's the one that reveals to Kate that Clint is Ronin? Any thoughts on that?
Oh man, I love it. And it's like, bro, I love it. And I would also love to see if they were all there together.
Yep.
Even Maya too, like all 3 of them just, wait, what? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I think the drama there is going to be intriguing. But I'm terrible with predictions. So I mean, okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't really know where this is all going, but I'm along for the ride, man. It's definitely not my favorite series so far, but I mean, like, I'm having a good time. I'll say this. I'm kind of like more intrigued here than I was with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I no shade to that series, but it's just the way this is flowing better for me than that show in particular. Especially after we said hi and bye to Zemo, because that was like, I was so excited to see him again, and he wasn't really that important to the show. So
yeah, I would be willing to bet that episode 4 heavily deep dives into Kate's mom and Jack. We're going to see a lot of those 2 characters, especially with the cliffhanger here in episode 3. And then we'll probably like slow it down a little bit in episode 4. And I expect things to really ramp up with Kingpin in episode 5, and then the way this show ends in episode 6, guys. Let's wrap it up, Loretta. Where can we find you, man? What do you got going on, bro?
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden. I'm always happy to talk shop and just shoot the shit all day and yammer about films and whatnot. And I'm also one of the 4 proud co-hosts here at our channel. So please stay tuned. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. We have the action trivia coming up. What's that, Friday?
Tomorrow, baby.
Woo, I don't know what day of the week it is, man. As much as I love action, I also realize if you deep dive on some of this stuff, man, I'm probably gonna struggle, but I'm down for the good time. And anyone watching that wants to join in and answer some trivia, man, this is a fun spot to come through with some crazy questions. So.
Yeah, we have Leo in the house saying, "What up, guys?"
What up, Geekly Goods?
What's going on, man? Geeklygood.com. We just wrapped it up. We're again very, very high on this week's episode collectively. Again, movie trivia is tomorrow night at 8:00. Action movies, and I've got 5 pages of really hard action movie trivia questions. I'm really excited to stump Loretto. I made a video of Loretto last week of the Christmas movie draft, and I still cannot stop laughing. It's terrific. I love it. It's so much fun. Before that, though, 7:00, me and Christian will be 6:00. My bad. Christian and I will be breaking down episode 5 of The Wheel of Time, and it is terrific. If you love high fantasy content. We also did a latest review on Arcane season 1. Mind-blowing, Loretto. If you made me watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, you better fucking watch Arcane. That's not even a debate. That's not like that.
Dude, AJ too. AJ was like, "You gotta watch this." I was just like, I have to watch a lot of things, but yes, I'll try.
Dude, think like Dave Filoni, character development, but with like high fantasy sci-fi.
Okay, can I ask you, because I don't even know what the hell a League of Legends is. So does that matter? Like, so I can just enjoy this, right?
Yeah. No, dude.
Okay.
Watch the first 3 episodes, and I cannot wait for you to be like, holy shit.
Okay. Holy shit. I can't wait to see Leo's reaction. It looks like he's gonna start. Yeah, there it is. So I can't wait to hear his reaction. Dude. And I'll tell you what. I'm gonna finish Cowboy Bebop first. And I'll throw on the Arcane after that. Okay, guys?
I'm telling you right now, Loretta, how many 10s have I ever given on this show?
Like 4.
All right. And we've done a shit ton of shows, right?
Oh, yeah. We've been doing this for what, over a year now?
Yeah, easy. And that I gave it a 10. It is.
Wait. The series?
The series, the season 1, I gave it a 10 out of 10. And Christian did the same. It is, without a doubt, with the potential of being in that same tier as Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I know I'm putting this on a pedestal, but I'm like completely confident that you're going to love it.
I was going to say, you're definitely overselling it, but your opinion, I do value. So I will look at it with interest for sure.
I'm really excited for you to watch it. Really, really excited. Same for you, Leo. I really cannot wait for you to see, to hear your thoughts on it as well. Again, Wheel of Time review going down 6:00 East Coast time, episode 5. Cannot wait. That show is terrific. Really stepped up its game in episode 4. Follow us on Twitter at The Suit Up Geeks. My man Loretto at Marcellus Durden. I am Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. For Loretto, for myself, stay awesome, everybody.